This is one of the saddest and most shocking stories you'll ever hear. A South African mother has been sentenced for life for killing her 17-year-old son and two lovers just because she was infected with HIV. A mother's love is said to be the purest, most unconditional form of affection. It is a bond that should offer comfort, protection, and unwavering support. But then, what happens when the very person meant to be a child's sanctuary becomes their greatest threat? This is the heartbreaking story of Pamela Ncumisa Selani, a 47-year-old South African woman who killed her two lovers and 17-year-old son. It all started in the year 2016 in a neighborhood called Olivenhoutbosch, a township in Centurion, Gauteng, South Africa. This area is known to be a fast-growing residential area, and Pamela Selani lived here with her three young children, two boys and one girl, and also her boyfriend Michael Changiza, who was from Malawi. Trouble started when Selani found out that she had been infected with HIV, a lifelong infection that currently does not have any cure. Traumatized by this revelation, Selani confronted her boyfriend Michael, and they both got into a serious argument. Some weeks after their argument, it was made known that Selani asked her second boyfriend, Gift Fury, who happened to also live in the same area, to help her kill Michael Changiza, whom she was currently living with. Now, I know we might be asking ourselves the same question, which is, if Selani was actually cheating on Michael Changiza with Gift Fury, how then was she so convinced that her HIV infection was from Michael and not Gift? Because there is a strong possibility here that the infection would have originated from Gift Fury and not Michael Changiza. There is also a possibility that they had the infection due to their a little entanglement, which makes it difficult to know for sure who actually infected who. Gift Fury, Selani's second boyfriend, then came up with a plan on how to murder Michael. So one night, he snuck into the house where Selani was living with Michael and they hid in the bathroom, waiting for Michael to fall asleep. When Michael finally fell asleep, Gift snuck out from hiding and smashed Michael's head repeatedly with a hammer, leaving him on the bed to die. Now, what's even more scary than the actual act committed by Gift Fury is the fact that he did all that in the presence of Selani's two young children. It will interest you to know that at the time this crime was committed, Selani's first son was just 16 years old, while the second son was 12 years old. After the deed had been done, Selani and Gift went ahead to bury Michael's corpse in a shallow grave in her yard. When neighbors noticed the absence of Michael in the area and asked Selani of his whereabouts, she responded that Michael had gone to the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Shortly after this event, Gift Fury moved in with Selani and they began living together as a couple along with the three children. The following year, being 2017, Selani conspired with his then 17-year-old son, Avil Jongwa, to kill Gift Fury, reason being that he was assaulting her. This time around, Selani decided to poison Gift Fury and then drown his head in a dustbin filled with water until he died. Again, this also happened in the presence of her two young children, her 13-year-old boy and her 4-year-old daughter. They went on to bury Gift's body in the same shallow grave they had buried Michael, placing his dead body on top of Michael's remains. Now, in order to prevent questions about Gift's whereabouts, Selani made it known to everyone that Gift Fury had relocated to Atteridgeville, a township west of Pretoria. Avil, Selani's 17-year-old son, was a drug addict. He later tried to use all the crimes committed by her mother to extort money from her. Avil threatened to report the two mothers to the police if his mother refused to pay him. It is not known whether Selani actually paid his son Avil to keep quiet about the murders, but what we do know is that in 2018, Selani killed her 17-year-old son, Avil, and she did so in the same fashion as was done to Michael. According to the report given by the National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson, Lumka Mahanjana, one night, Avil chased his mother and his younger sibling out of the house. They then went to stay at her third boyfriend's house in the same area. Selani and her second son returned home later and hid in the yard. After some time, Avil arrived home and went straight to bed. While sleeping, Selani asked her second son to sneak into the house and open the door. Thereafter, Selani grabbed a hammer and repeatedly hit Aviel on the head. Once again, this happened right in the presence of her remaining two children, her then 5-year-old daughter and 14-year-old son. After Aviel had collapsed, Selani told her 14-year-old son to stay with Aviel while she went outside. When she returned, the boy informed her that Aviel had been moving. Selani then told the son to go outside and get her a big rock. When the boy returned with the rock, she took it from him and repeatedly hit Aviel on the head once again. Both Selani and the boy took Aviel's body to the same shallow grave containing Michael Ncumisa and Gift Fairy's remains and also buried him there. Selani then repeated her mode of operation by telling everyone who ever asked about Aviel that he had gone to Cape Town, a coastal city in South Africa. The secret came to light in August 2020 when Selani's 14-year-old son developed mental problems, saying that he was seeing dead people. Selani took the boy to what the South Africans call Sangoma because she thought he was going crazy. In South Africa, a Sangoma is a traditional healer and spiritual leader, often believed to have the ability to communicate with ancestors and spirits, diagnose and treat illnesses, and also provide guidance and protection through rituals and herbal medicine. While Sangoma was doing his consultation, the 14-year-old boy told him about all the killings committed by his mother. The Sangoma then pretended that he wanted to call another traditional healer for assistance and then used the opportunity to call a community leader instead. When the community leader arrived, the son narrated the whole story to him. The community leader then proceeded to report the matter to the police. Selani and her 14-year-old son were arrested on that same day when they returned home after the consultation. Her son was arrested because Selani lied to the police that he was the one who actually killed Gift Fairy. However, the state withdrew cases against the 14-year-old son after he turned state witness. Selani pleaded not guilty to all the charges and also denied involvement. She asked the court through her legal representative not to impose the minimum sentence as she was a first-time offender and that Michael had infected her with a life-threatening disease, which was the HIV. She also said she experienced abuse from the man in her life, which pushed her into a corner and resulted in her acting in the manner that she did. However, state prosecutor and advocate Eric Silangu argued that Selani showed no remorse for her actions as she still maintained her innocence even after being convicted. In June 2024, Judge Mokin Musopa at the Pretoria High Court convicted Selani of all 3 murders and sentenced her to 3 life terms and 5 additional years for defeating the ends of justice. It would also interest you to know that during the investigative period, it was also alleged that Selani fled from Eastern Cape to Pretoria because she had killed 2 people there, one of them being her very own grandmother. However, due to the lack of evidence, Selani was never prosecuted for these Eastern Cape murders. This tragic story raises many questions about human behavior and the circumstances that drive people to commit such unthinkable crimes. I would like to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think drove Selani to commit such extreme actions, even against her own family? Do you think that psychological trauma and maybe possible abuse played a role in her actions? Also, what would life look like for her remaining 14-year-old son and her 5-year-old daughter? Because remember, the two actually witnessed all the murders that took place. And lastly, do you find it hard to believe that such horrible events would go unnoticed for so long within a community? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you will be the first to know when we publish a new story. And remember, sometimes the greatest danger lies where we least expect. Thank you for watching.